What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy HMK once again. Now, if you know me, you know I love making and talking about video game theories, specifically Zelda and Kingdom Hearts. I dabble in other things, but those are the main two. Now, today I wanted to put together some awesome videos in terms of talking about my first ever Kingdom Hearts theory and my first ever Zelda theory, with this video specifically being the Kingdom Hearts theory. Now, don't try to find it on the YouTube channel or anything like that, because this is from before the time I start doing YouTube videos, like way before that. Now, this theory has been debunked to hell and back, and I believed it for like a year or whatnot, but I just wanted to share what I was on when it came to making these type of theories that led to the time of me making Kingdom Hearts theories. So if you would, visualize, I'm gonna try and put some as much stuff as I can in the green screen, visualize this journey into the madness of what I was trying to theorize with Kingdom Hearts in the before times. Now, this Kingdom Hearts theory comes from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix's The Secret movies. I mean, like Kingdom Hearts 2 and Final Mix. The Gathering, and then The Gathering followed Birth by Sleep, and then The Gathering, and you know what I'm talking about. Now, the thing to note is that Final Mix, remember, Final Mix was never available in America. It was never available outside of Japan. So, how we saw these movies was through the early days of YouTube and the early days of video sharing. Now, of course, we were able to see The Gathering, but then Birth by Sleep, the actual, expanded one where we saw Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, we had to see that on the internet because it wasn't available through the games. It was not on Kingdom Hearts 2 regularly. It was only on Final Mix. Now, obviously, at the point when Birth by Sleep comes out, this gets debunked into hell and back. But from the information, because I was still scouring the internet for information on certain characters, and of course, a lot of us thought it was Roxas when we saw Ventus. But then Nomura was pretty quick about it, saying that's not Roxas, that's a character named Ventus, and these are the characters, Terra, Aqua, and that's Xehanort. But why does Xehanort look old? Xehanort is supposed to look young and suave and strapping, and yeah. And that was a big part of the mystery. And then Vanitas, everyone was calling Vanitas Spider-Man. You guys remember that time? So the theory deals with this. Obviously, when we watch The Gathering and Birth by Sleep, we get the idea that Xehanort, he still had the features of Ansem and Xemnas and Apprentice Xehanort. White hair, yellowish, orangish, burgundy eyes. He had the white goatee and whatnot. And he had the same, pretty much the same outfit that Ansem Secret of Darkness was wearing, albeit open shirt, gold straps. But it was come on, you can see that. And then Vanitas had a different color-coded costume that Riku wore when it was dark Riku or whatnot. So that was another thing to think about. And everyone was wielding keyblades and blah, blah, blah. So we kind of already put that kind of thing together, where at the end of the movie, we see Terra, who's Terra, the same hair formation as Xemnas and whatnot, and his eyes were turning yellow at the end of the movie. So we kind of got the idea. It was the biggest known secret. It's okay, by the this game is gonna end in sadness, because we kind of established that this is happening before Kingdom Hearts 0 or whatever, and that this entity Xehanort is gonna take over Terra and then become Apprentice Xehanort and then Xemnas. But then my mind kept racing on I was hyper focusing on Ventus. Right? And it's why does he look like that? Why does he look just like Roxas? Why does Roxas look like that? What's all this deal? And then Aqua was cool, but then we didn't really have a lot to go off of in terms of relations between established characters that we've seen before in Kingdom Hearts. So I kind of resigned to the idea that either Aqua was going to be lost or she was going to die. So that avenue was okay, I'll explore that avenue later. But then when it came to Roxas and Ventus, and then Xemnas and Terra and whatnot, I was going all over the place, because at first, before we established that these were different characters, I was oh, this is Roxas, and this may be from the before time where he was the dark side of the organization. There's him running around the organization before the events of Kingdom Hearts 2. But why does Xehanort look like that? And then why does Terra look like it? It's young Xemnas, and then becomes old Xemnas, and then Xemnas was good, and then he gets taken over by Xehanort. I'm but Kingdom Hearts 2. So that was the whole wazoo can of worms. But after that, when we find out it was Ventus, I'm okay. And the theory was that by the end of Birth by Sleep, that Terra was going to become Xehanort, was going to become Xemnas. And somehow, like along the lines, he's going to become the first ever nobody, right? And that Ventus and Aqua were probably going to die. And I was really on the idea that Ventus was going to die at the end of Birth by Sleep, and that it was kind of like obvious that Ventus might have a connection with Sora, because like, you know, wind, sky, earth, Riku, land, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I was on the idea that Xemnas, Terra becoming Xemnas, was going to mourn his friend in a really messed up way, in which as the first nobody, when Sora created Nobody, as we saw from Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories into Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora gave up his heart, became a Heartless, but then got his body back, but still produced a Nobody. So then I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, if a Nobody's still getting produced, but Sora got his body back, obviously, like, Sora's Nobody can't use that body or that template anymore because Sora took it back, right? So Roxas, for an unknown period of time that was like seen off screen or whatever, was a blank template. And that Xemnas as Terra, or remembering the remnants of like his feelings as Terra, as the first nobody, wanted to commemorate and mourn his friend Ventus by shaping Roxas, who would be a Keyblade wielder because of being Sora's nobody, and that Ventus was a Keyblade wielder, would shape Roxas in the form of Ventus, as his ways like, oh, you are my new friend, you are Ventus, and like a messed up, it's like, Ventus didn't die, Ventus is right here, you're Ventus now, alright? But let's just call you Roxas, but you are Ventus in my head, in my heart, that's you, and now we are complete, we are whole once again. And then that goes in line with the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix exclusive cutscenes of showing off the Lingering Will and Aqua's armor. It's like, oh, hello, old friend. And then the armor's just there. It's just like, oh, she's probably dead. Because, I mean, like, if it's just the armor and the Keyblade, like, where's the person, right? So I was going off the idea where it's like, okay, now he has his friend circle is recompleted. You know, he has Aqua's armor, the whatever's left of her, and recreated Ventus as Roxas for the organization. So obviously that's not true, obviously, but that was like where I was going along with in terms of like Kingdom Hearts lore and Kingdom Hearts theorization. And I only believed it for about a year, and then Birth by Sleep came out, and then I was like, okay, no, not Birth by Sleep came out. I mean, Birth by Sleep did come out, but we got information leading into Birth by Sleep's release that like definitely threw that into the trash bin. But I just wanted to let you guys know where I was coming from in terms of theorization at that point in time. So, what'd you think? Leave your comments in the comments section below. And if you want to check out my first ever Zelda theory, you can click on the link that's on the end slate. You guys know, you're going to see it. You guys are going to know where it is. So leave a comment, leave a like, share it up, have some fun. Check out the Zelda theory, and I hope you guys had a good time with this. Until the next video, this has been your boy HMK, and I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.